The Apple Vision Pro. This has got to be one of the weirdest products that Apple's ever released. And I know a lot of people have been comparing it to the original iPhone, but I think this is a completely different product. Now, I've been messing with this device for right around 2 weeks now, and I'm just gonna be upfront with y'all. I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and return it to Apple. Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but it's not necessarily because of the price. That is a factor in it, but I was completely willing to find a way to make it work if I really wanted to keep the Vision Pro. I don't want to make so much of a review of this so much as I want this to be kind of an analysis of just my experience with the Vision Pro and kind of some of the conclusions that I was able to draw on it. I just want to start off with saying what you've heard from other creators about vision being the future of computing and all of that, absolutely true. I'm not going to disagree with that point at all. But the point that I want to make in this video is that this device, the Vision Pro that's out right now that you can buy for $3,500, this is not the future. So to give you a bit of context with my background with VR, I haven't used the VR headset since like 2016 when Google came out with their Daydream headset. I used it with my Pixel phone. I was honestly really impressed with it back then. I was super impressed with how immersed I felt, even with such a simple headset as that you just put your phone in and you're just looking at your phone screen through this headset. But even with that, I was really impressed at what they were able to do, and I could totally see different experiences that they could provide through that format. That being said, I'm really surprised that people that are active in the VR community are so impressed by this thing, because while there are very impressive moments, I didn't feel like it was a huge leap over that experience that I had in 2016. And let's just start there with the visual quality. Obviously, Apple has packed some really high resolution displays into this thing. It can't really be compared to you sticking your smartphone in a headset and going off of that. But in the same breath, the visual fidelity that you get in the headset, it's not mind-blowing like some might lead you to believe. And again, while I do review a lot of tech, I don't have a lot of experience in the VR sector. I haven't even tried the Meta Quest 3. So I'm not going into this like pixel peeping by any means. I literally put on the headset in the demo. It was the first time I used VR since 2016. And already, while I was super impressed with how everything looked in there and the smoothness of the operating system and things like that, I already noticed so much distortion around the edges of the frame. And even like before you focus in on anything, it's pretty distorted. Even in my own testing of this device, it just doesn't hold up for any period of time over a few seconds. I mean, the pass-through is convincing enough if you need it, but it's by no means like a window out into your world. And as someone who likes to spend a lot of time in like low lighting settings, not necessarily in the brightest of situations, I don't like having all the lights on in my house. It was very disappointing to me because I was hoping to at least be able to like walk around and do stuff while I'm in the headset, and you absolutely can, but it's kind of very uncomfortable because everything is very pixelated and blurry. Anytime you move, it's getting even more blurry. And you know, it's cool that you're able to move around with it on, but you don't really want to do that. My opinion is that the pass-through is only really convincing enough when you're viewing content in the screen. Like say you have screens pulled up or you're watching a movie of some type or something like that. That's the only time that the pass-through is really acceptable, because you're focused on the content that you're viewing. You're not focused on your surroundings. Your surroundings is just like a backdrop for the content you're viewing. Your eyes aren't focused on it anyways. So it looks cool. It looks like watching a big TV screen or working on a big computer monitor in your actual space, and that is cool. But as far as being able to just clear everything out the way, walk around your house and do stuff, or even walk around the city like I've seen some people doing, I can't imagine doing that. Like, it hurts my eyes after a while with how fuzzy the video feed is. And you're gonna see that a lot in this overview, is that even though there's a lot of good things about the Vision Pro, after spending any amount of time or putting even the smallest amount of scrutiny on them, they quickly fall apart in front of your eyes. Since we're talking about how uncomfortable the viewing experience can be, let's go ahead and talk about just the overall comfort on your head of the headset. After like 30 minutes to an hour, I get a lot of pain on the bridge of my nose. I mean, unbearable almost. It definitely leaves a red mark on your face from where the Vision Pro was. Yes, I think I thought that people were exaggerating about the weight at first, kind of like a lot of people exaggerated about the weight of the AirPods Max. They're not exaggerating. This thing hurts to use for any more than 30 minutes. And when you take it off, if you've been in there for an hour or two, you're definitely gonna feel it. And I think that's a pretty big hurdle to the usefulness of this. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really want to use the headset with any other strap than the solo loop that's included on it. And that's because, I don't know, bro, like I care a lot about the appearance of my hair, and we're talking about a device that many people, many influencers across the internet are saying is the next like daily use thing. Okay, but it's gonna mess up your hair every time you put on that dual loop strap. And I get that a lot of people have said it's more comfortable, which it is slightly so, but you're sacrificing, you know, the ease of use of it and being able to just put it on and take it off and go about your day. But even with the solo loop band, this thing can mess up your hair. The front part is pressing really tightly on your face. There's a lot of clamping force, as many have said. And that's the thing that these tech nerds just don't get. Like, as cool as this thing is, if the ease of use isn't there, if it hurts after an amount of time to use it, if it messes up your hair, if you gotta take it out of a case and hook the battery on and find a pocket for the battery pack. If the ease of use isn't really there, then people aren't gonna use it. And that's the exact issue I've had with this. It's the same thing with anything. People talk about if you wanna start working out, remove the hurdles to working out. You know, like if going to the gym is stopping you from working out, then just maybe run around your neighborhood instead. Maybe get some free weights at home that you can lift, some dumbbells or something. It's the same thing, it's the same concept. If there's too many hurdles that you have to jump through to use something, you're not gonna use it. And that's the exact issue that I was running into with the Vision Pro, is there's too much hurdles for me to jump through, for me to want to use this. For instance, one of the coolest things about watching TV is that you can get home, turn it on, find something to watch pretty easily. A lot of the remotes these days have a voice search function, so you can search for something with your voice and start watching, and it's as simple as that. But let's say you want to watch something in your Vision Pro, you gotta take the Vision Pro out, hope that you charged it up enough because it's only a 2-hour battery life, put it over your head, mess up your hair, adjust the fit to where the fit is right, then go through and find what you want to watch, and then you can start watching. And this was probably one of the biggest use cases for me because I have to be watching something while I'm eating. I can't just eat and not watch something. And I'm also a super clean freak. Like, I don't want to get food all over my remote by changing the TV or pausing or playing whatever while I'm eating dinner. So being able to interact with the Vision Pro with your fingers, that's a perfect solution for watching content while you're eating. But the hurdles were too much that I didn't want to go through the steps to do that, to be able to watch something in the Vision Pro while I'm eating. I'd rather just watch something on my TV. You may say like, oh, you're just being lazy. You don't want to do a few simple steps to be able to watch on a much bigger screen while you're eating. But no, because what other influencers are trying to say is going to happen with this thing is that people are going to be using it in their everyday lives, just like the original iPhone, just like that. But regular people, the mainstream people, are way more susceptible to not jumping through hurdles for tech than I am. So if me, somebody that's invested in tech, if I don't even want to jump through those hurdles half the time to use this, regular people are never going to use this. And I think that goes right into the next point I have to make about the Vision Pro, which is the collaboration of it. This device would be amazing at collaboration. It would be amazing at sharing experiences. In fact, things like FaceTime are already cool. I've seen some reviews mention it feels so far in the future, like it makes regular FaceTime on a phone feel outdated. Yeah, it does. It totally does. But the problem is nobody else has this. None of my friends have this. I don't have any other big YouTube creator friends that I can hit up and be like, hey, let's hop on a Vision Pro FaceTime call real quick. A lot of the reviews of these other creators are in an echo chamber. They're hearing from their friends that it's cool. So they're like, oh, this is cool. And we all got Vision Pro so we could FaceTime each other and look at our personas and like, oh, that's so cool. But we're talking real world, real scenarios. Let's go back to that original iPhone comparison that so many people are making. The thing about the original iPhone is it was cool to pull up to school with that. I remember my first friend that got an original iPhone. He was the coolest kid. Everyone wanted to see it. Everyone wanted to hold it. And that's the thing is he could just pass it around or like hold it and show him his screen, show him the apps he was looking on, show him things like that. That created the desire for that. After seeing that, yeah, I was jealous of him, but also like, I wanted an iPhone, and that sort of thing is very difficult with the Vision Pro, especially right now. So one of the coolest things about having the Vision Pro so far for me has been being able to let other people use it and see their experiences with it, see their reaction to it. But what's funny about that is to even be able to do that, you have to first change a setting in your iPhone. You have to then go in the Vision Pro and know where to go to enable guest mode. Then the person has to put it on, set up the hand tracking, eye tracking, all that, and then they're finally ready to use it. But guess what? They can't create a persona on it. They can't dive into it as fully as you would. And there come those hurdles again where what should be an amazing experience for people quickly starts to fall apart before your eyes. You want to share this good experience, but you can't even really do that. And on top of that, with the price of $3,500, there are very few people that can afford to get this or justify spending that much on something like this. And I want to clarify that I'm not entirely being negative. I know the Apple effect. I know that by Apple dipping its toes into the space, it's going to bring so much innovation. It's going to bring a lot of competition. It's going to make it easier and cheaper to manufacture devices like this. It's very obvious that they're playing the long game with this and that this device is just a proof of concept. But that's the thing, so many other creators and influencers don't want to come out and say not to buy this thing. And they want to act like this device is the future right now, but the thing is, it's just not. I'm gonna be that person. Don't go out and buy this. Don't go out and buy the Vision Pro unless you literally just have $3,500 or more just laying around and cannot think of a single thing better to do with it. Go demo it at an Apple store. Do something like that, but don't stretch your budget to buy this. Don't save up, don't skip a vacation. This ain't it. This ain't that product. In a few years, when they come out with another version of this, a much lighter version of this, maybe like in the $1,000 to $2,000 range, then I would say it's probably worth it, as long as they don't like sacrifice too much of the other things. But in its current state, I'm just gonna keep it real. It is a tech toy for privileged people. Look, this is not the kind of video that I thought I was gonna do on the Apple Vision Pro. I thought I was gonna do a review, like my typical phone reviews, and just kind of go over all the pros and cons of it. But I really feel like this is just such a different product, and so many other people have been just overhyping this thing. I don't know, I'm not sad that I have to return the Vision Pro. Definitely gonna miss, you know, using it, some of the content you could enjoy in there, some of the experiences, the environments and stuff like that. I'm really more sad that it didn't live up to what I thought it would be, I guess my vision for it, especially at the price that it's at. It doesn't live up to its price point. Look, Apple Vision, Vision OS, it's definitely the future, just not yet. And that's really all I got to say on this product. Please give me a like if you found this overview helpful in any way, and subscribe to follow along for more content. We'll see you guys in the next one.